Hello and welcome. You're watching France 24. It's time for our international press review in the papers. Catherine Norris-Trent is here to lead us through the world's press. Where are you going to start us off, Catherine?
In Turkey, where unsurprisingly the bomb blasts which have rocked Istanbul are on the front pages. On the Turkish newspaper Milliyet, there's a photo on their front page of the blast scene, quite graphic, injured people there. But also, that's not the only big story in the Turkish press. The legal case against the ruling AKP party, there's a lot of coverage of that, a lot of analysis, comment, people asking whether it's a good thing or not. In the English language newspaper, Today's Zaman, the editorial there, pro-AKP. They don't want the Constitutional Court to ban the AKP, which it says it might do, because the AKP has religious roots.
But critics, of course, they say that they want the AKP to be banned, seeing that they think the AKP is violating Turkey's secular constitution.
Absolutely, it's a debate which is dividing Turkey. Today's Zaman, they are pro-AKP. They say if the party is banned, it will depolarise Turkey and ruin its reputation as a country that's a beacon of stability, peace and democracy. And they say that if the AKP is banned, they expect the party to take their case to the European Court of Human Rights.
One more Turkish newspaper this morning?
Absolutely. In the Hurriyet, they had an interview with Prime Minister Tayyip Erdogan, who's also the ruler of the AKP party. He's promised that if the party is not banned, he won't let that go to his head and won't become a tyrant. Reassuring words there.
Indeed, very reassuring words from Tayyip Erdogan. Next story.
Yes, tributes have been pouring into legendary Egyptian filmmaker Youssef Chahine, who died at the age of 82. In France, he's a very big figure. He had success at the Cannes Film Festival. The French newspaper Libération has several pages devoted to Chahine. They've got a big photo here of the man himself. They look back at his life and work and praise his politically engaged work. He worked against censorship and intolerance. They say he was as much a political figure and admire his rebel quality. They've got plenty of anecdotes as well from people who've worked with Chahine. He had routines that he followed every day, apparently. He'd rise at dawn and then sketch the scenes he wanted to film in coloured crayons before each day's filming, right up until his last film.
A disciplined man indeed, it sounds like. Now, that's a reaction in the French press. What about the Arabic language press?
In the London-based Saudi newspaper, they've got him on their front page, also tributes there, again praising him as a politician and a filmmaker, saying that he really worked against intolerance. But in the Egyptian press, on the web editions at least, maybe they'll develop later in print editions, there was a remarkable absence of tributes to Chahine. Eventually we found one in the El Haram newspaper, only 3 paragraphs long for such a big figure, and between photos of President Hosni Mubarak. He wasn't popular in the state-controlled Egyptian press because he was so critical of authorities.
A controversial figure, it seems like, at least in Egypt. Last story, 1 minute left.
OK, the Olympic, the clock is ticking down, so there's...
Well, it's not long to go. It's less than 2 weeks. It starts on the 8th of August, right?
That's right. And Chinese security forces are on the move. The French newspaper Le Figaro has a photo of armed Chinese security forces on little scooters ready to roll onto the streets of Beijing. Apparently there's 100,000 such troops ready to go into the capital. The China Daily newspaper, they're focusing on environmental preparations. The government says they have an emergency environmental action plan to cut down smog, and they could ban 90% of all cars from the capital if smog doesn't lift.
All right, thanks very much, Catherine Norris-Trent. I really like the picture there of the policemen on those little bikes.
Yeah.
Funny image from Beijing.
how fast they'd go.
Indeed. Thanks very much, Catherine Norris-Trent, and thank you for watching. Stay with us here at France 24.
Business is brought to you by Dexia, the public finance bank.